What is vibing? This is Vish, and today I will be responding to Sadhguru's video on how to live joyfully no matter what. I am a meditation coach and I've guided hundreds of people on their meditation journeys. If you have any questions as to how to start, comment down below or message me on Instagram at VishVibez. I am truly grateful for Sadhguru and the amazing nuggets of wisdom that he has dropped on this planet. He's doing an awesome job in enlightening the world, and he himself has had a profound impact on the spiritual journey of the self. The title itself, about living joyfully no matter what, is something the self can very much relate to. And hopefully this video and the experience that I share will help you live the life that you've always wanted to live. With that, let's get straight into the video.
Say, how to address the larger issues of my life. There are no large issues in your life.
Somebody needs to help me understand that.
What is the large issue that you're talking about?
Okay, real quickly, I just have to make a comment as to, I love the way how he's able to consciously question all of the unconscious questions. A lot of the times when you ask a certain question, we don't even know what we're asking. And so for Sadhguru to call that out is a beautiful thing. Let's continue.
It is just about what job to take, which girl to marry,
That about covers it.
where to go for vacation, whether to get married or not get married, you know. These are the things, isn't it? These are not large issues, these are little things in your life.
Perspective is key.
Yes. Oh, is it just a small thing whom I get married to? I'm not saying it's a small thing, but as an issue, it's a small issue, little issue. As a consequence to your life, yes, it has many things. But this is something that human beings have done for millions of years. We have enough experience on these things, isn't it? We know that whatever job we take, whoever we marry, it is just the way we make out of it. Every experience of life, you can make it an enriching experience.
That is a beautiful point. It's important to understand how a lot of the times people will suffer regardless, and that people will blame their suffering for the outside and the external. People that, for example, aren't married will complain about not being married. People that are married will complain about being married. Parents that have no kids will complain about not having kids. People with kids will complain about having kids. And just the way he said it, it's as simple as the way you look at it and how you make of it.
Every experience in your life, you can make a curse out of it. See, there is nothing wrong in your job, whatever job you're doing. There's nothing wrong getting this job, there's nothing wrong in losing this job. There's nothing wrong in getting married, there's nothing wrong in getting divorced. There's nothing wrong in not getting married. There is nothing wrong in anything, there's nothing wrong in this or that. But it is just that you make misery out of it, that's wrong. If you do this, you make misery out of it. If you do that, you make misery out of it. That's what is wrong with you. So you got married, is it wrong? That's not the point. There's nothing wrong with it. You did not get married, is it wrong? No, there's nothing wrong with it, that's wonderful too. You got divorced, is it wrong? No, that's also wonderful. It is…
Okay, that is interesting. Not too sure how the self feels about him saying that a divorce is okay and wonderful.
It is just that you make misery out of everything, that's what is wrong. You just address that one issue, everything will be settled. That's what we are looking at. How not to make misery out of everything. This one thing is settled, everything is settled, isn't it? Yes? If you know how to walk through this world joyfully, through marriage and divorce and celibacy and everything, if you know how to walk through this joyfully, what is the problem? Whatever you do is beautiful, isn't it?
Very true.
That comes next.
What do you
You
say? I
don't
can hear
even
it.
know how to be happy, Don't have such goals as realization. They are very far away from you. See, you are just dismissing something very fundamental to your life with a stupid definition. Happiness is not just a state of mind, it is just the basis of the quality of life that you live here, isn't it?
The self would love to think that, what he mentioned about happiness being the fundamental basis of life. To be honest, the self doesn't know if that's true, if it's not true, as he encourages it's okay to say, I don't know. That's the response I have to this part.
Is it such a small thing, happiness? Oh, it's just a state of mind. Is it a small thing? It's the biggest issue, isn't it?
In your book you have written, this is the minimum thing to do in life is
Yes.
be happy.
Yes.
And if I do that in the entire life, will I be fulfilling my life?
No. No, I didn't say that.
That was a strong no.
I said, if that is not possible, forget realization and all that nonsense. It's not even in your sphere. If you are capable of going through this world joyfully, then you could talk about going beyond. If you're not even capable of going through this joyfully, talking about beyond is no good.
One step at a time.
There is no way, I'm telling you. There is simply no way. For a person who is constantly creating inner battles all the time, how will he deal with the bondages of life and how will he transcend that? There's no question. It doesn't arise in your life. So first thing is working towards to be a blissful human being. If that happens, the rest becomes very simple. Because a blissful human being, once your happiness is not at stake, anything that's needed you will do, isn't it? Right now you cannot do what's needed because always your happiness is at stake. You are thinking which is the right thing to do, which is the right thing to do. There is no right thing to do in your life. There is no wrong thing to do in your life. If you know how not to make misery out of everything that you do, whatever you're doing is the right thing. If you're making misery out of everything that you do, everything that you do is the wrong thing. So that's the only issue you have to look at. Others are all petty things. What does it matter which way you do it?
Wow, that was a beautiful video and very enlightening in nature. To the self, the word perspective is probably what rings the most as the key concept in the video. It's all about how you look at things. A lot of the times we blame the outside for the miseries on the inside, the happiness on the inside, anything for the inside. But the reality is, these are all generated from the inside. There could be external influences, however, at the end of the day, this body, this mind, this energy, this emotion, these are all in our control. How we respond to things, how we react to things, whether it's conscious or unconscious, that is all in our hands. Just like he's mentioned in other videos, if we can't even just keep our mind still and instead keep it like a hand that's just moving left and right with no control, that's what's happening to the mind. He calls it mental diarrhea. How are we going to be able to get that happiness? And it's only natural for it to be super temporary, especially when we always tie it with something on the outside. True happiness will be self-generated, self-sustaining. And as he mentions, no matter what happens on the outside, you will truly learn to be joyful through it all once you learn what he calls inner engineering. There are a couple parts of this video where the self was a bit confused and not the most convinced at, including the part about how you mentioned a divorce can be a wonderful thing. And even at the end, just saying that doing everything joyfully is what's necessary. I do understand how doing things happily and joyfully are important, have to be fundamental in nature. But it does bring the question to, let's say, people that are crazy and get joy from doing crazy things, which are, let's say, putting others at harm. That's not going to be okay. They're joyful, but does that validate what they're doing? Probably not. So with that, I wanted to thank you so much for watching this response to this video. I have mentioned in many other videos as well how thankful I am for Sadhguru and all the amazing things I've learned. What I do especially appreciate about him is how he calls himself the uneducated guru, translating to Sadhguru, and how we must always see people eye to eye, not above or below. And that is how the self views Sadhguru. He's an amazing human being, but I do not look up to him or look down at him. And that is why it's okay to have questions at times and to have differences of opinions at times and just disagreements as well. With disagreements comes growth. Once you learn to put yourself in the other person's shoes and understand where they're coming from, that helps you grow and helps grow the empathy, which in turn leads to growth in awareness or consciousness. Take it joyfully, make it a great day, and stay conscious.